All right. So, someone has just gifted you an orchid after game night. Now what? After a quick Google research, you have learned that you have just been gifted a Phalaenopus or a moth orchid. One of the most commonly mass-produced orchids, sold at a reasonable price, according to Dr. Dave Clement and Mary Kay Malinowski of the University of Maryland. It has been proven that taking care of a houseplant produces happiness, humidity in the air reduces stress, and may even aid in sleep. I'm going to teach you how to take care of your houseplant, what exactly this specific moth orchid is, and how to keep it alive. I will first be teaching you guys the origins of the moth orchid, then the proper equipment you're going to need, and some extra ingredients that you're going to need to help extend the life of the orchid. So, what exactly is a Phalaenopus orchid? There are thousands of different orchid species, but the moth orchid is the most common orchid because it grows on all the continents except for Antarctica. I will first be discussing where the moth orchid originated and some of its believed benefits. So the moth orchid was first established in Sweden by Carls Linnaeus in 1753, and he named it the Phalaenopus amubulus. Now, in the 1750s, around the same time, Peter Osbeck looked out his window and he saw a cluster of these orchids and he thought they were moths, hence the name moth orchid. Now, the orchid does grow along branches or tree trunks, so when it is grown as a house plant, it is usually held up by a stick and clips or some bamboo to keep it growing upright. Now, according to a 1989 NASA discovery, moth orchids are known to purify the air, and according to a 2019 Chinese scientists, they discovered that moth orchids also aid in sleep. Some other benefits that a moth orchid has been proven to show is productivity in the home. It can also produce a lot of humidity, and it reduces stress. So the important takeaway is that the moth orchid has benefits to help in your daily life. And it is one of the most affordable plants and easiest plants to take care of. Now that you're more informed on the moth orchid, I'm going to share with you some of the proper equipment that you'll be needing to take care of this plant. The most important thing to remember is do not overwater your orchid. The equipment that you're going to need will be a pot, water, media, and light. First, we're going to be talking about the pot and the media, and then we're going to move on to water and the light. So, a container is needed to place your orchid in. One specifically that has holes at the bottom and on the sides. You can use a plastic pot like my own, and it usually is double potted because this isn't really aesthetically pleasing. So you can put it in a ceramic pot or on a plate to also catch the excess water. The media that is used is bark, coarse bark. Or another one that is used is sphancum moss. The coarse bark is the most popular because it is the best in regards to collecting water, but not retaining it to the point where your orchid will be overwatered. Now, the way that you are to water your orchid is you're going to remove it from the pot. You're going to throw away any of your excess water, clean out this pot, any excess drainage. Any water that is usable for you to drink is good for the orchid. That does include tap water in most areas. You're going to turn on the faucet and let it run until water seeps out the bottom holes. If you want to be extra, set it to the side, come back to it and drain it again. That will relieve any bacteria that's trapped inside. And then you're going to place it back into the pot. And how do you know if you're going to overwater your orchid? The best way to know is to feel it. If it feels dry, it's ready to be watered. If you're not sure, wait 1 to 2 days. The pot will also be physically lighter, and the coarse bark will have a lighter appearance as well. Now, in regards to light, a moth orchid loves indirect light. So, in the winter, it can handle direct light. In the summer, you should not have direct light. What is the way that you know if an orchid is being exposed to too much direct light? The leaves will appear a dark green. If it is a nice grassy green, like this one, then that tells you that it is being exposed to a proper amount of light. All right, so now that you're a little bit more informed on the improper ingredients, I'm going to tell you just a few more things that you might need to help prolong the life of your orchid. Now, so we're going to want to pay attention to the air circulation, repotting, pruning. How do you know what is the appropriate amount of air circulation? A lot of indirect air is very healthy for your orchid, so that would include an overhead fan. That would include an overhead fan. And or a fan in the corner. If the fan is too close to your orchid, then it's going to dry it out. In regards to repotting, you're in luck because the orchid only needs to be repotted every 2 to 3 years, and remember, it likes tight spaces. In regards to pruning, just cut off any dead leaves, and once the flowers begin to fall, cut at the base, because when it is time for them to rebloom, the base will grow out. So now that you know a little bit about your orchid, the history of the orchid, and some of the extra special ingredients to keep the life long, the next time you're gifted an orchid, I hope that you're able to take care of it and keep it for a long time, because it has many beneficial properties to help in your daily life. Thank you.
Yay! Yay!